Hey, how you doing? I'm Paul Perry. I'm going to read from my book, My Neighbor the Skinny, and I'm going to read moment number 1, which is called Entering the Bunker, Winter 2001, and it goes like this. It all started one cold winter evening when I got a call from my friend Jordell, a black man from Alabama that I had met a few months earlier while picking up mail at my old apartment in the Colegiales neighborhood. It turned out that he was providing language services to the family members of a famous musician. Hence, the Alabama man's offer to get me English classes teaching celebrities was most interesting. After all, as an aspiring writer and English teacher, what more could I ask for? But little did I know that befriending Jordell would lead me right into the heart of a living legend's household, with the skinny as the main attraction. Anyhow, thanks to Jordell, I left my house on Coladrero Street that cold winter evening and walked around the corner to that thick blue metal door on Iberaz Street. "Where are you going?" my woman asked me. "To the house of a musician who lives around the corner," I replied. "What's his name?" she asked. "Spinetta. Maybe I'll have a couple new students," I said, as I walked out the door. People often ask me what was beyond that cinder-block front and within the walls of La Diosa Salvaje. Well, there was a lot for the eye to see, but it's not so much what I saw that struck me upon entering that first time, but rather the sensations that ensued after ringing the bell. I could hear footsteps getting closer and the sound of keys jiggling in the air like cubes in a glass. "Who's there?" I heard a gentle voice coming from within. "Hi, I'm Paul Perry, Jordell's friend," I replied, hearing Jordell's typically eager voice stuttering through the door. Yeah, it's him. A series of locks began a turning sequence from top to bottom, as if someone were unlocking the entrance to a vault. The door sluggishly swung open as I saw my friend Jordell standing in front of a desk in what seemed like a musical storage room. Suddenly, a knit hat with strands of stringy gray hair sticking out from the sides appeared from behind the door. "Hey man, this is Luis," Jordell said. "Hi, nice to meet you," I said, stepping in out of the cold and into the bunker for the first time. "Hello, the pleasure is mine. Please come in," he said. Just like every home, it had a particular scent that characterized it. However, it was a frigid breeze that crept through my bones that would later become part of entering his home, for stepping into the skinny's lair was like walking into a constant winter wonderland. I asked him once, "Hey Louie, how come it's so cold in here all the time?" "Man, it's cold because the air conditioner has to be on, always, because of the equipment," he replied. Anyway, back to the bunker. I didn't know that recording equipment needed refrigeration, but I guess it was true because the air conditioner was always on, and the skinny usually walked around wearing a sweater or jacket and a knit hat on his head, sometimes even in summer. Jordell had just finished giving an English lesson to one of the family members and wanted me to help the skinny's eldest son with his pronunciation for singing rap songs in English. I followed my host through a narrow doorway and past the control room. "Speak English, only English," Jordell said, as he made small talk with the skinny. "Paul is a writer from Philadelphia. His mother is Argentine," he told him, to my surprise. "Oh yeah? That is very good," he replied, turning back to look at me. "Yeah, I have Porteño blood," I said, in jest, while catching a glimpse of the recording studio. I noticed a couple guitars leaned up against a wall and a drum set in the hall. We reached the doorway as the skinny stretched out his arm and said, "This way, to my house," motioning to a large, silver-plated restaurant-type door that swung sluggishly in or out or in. Just before crossing the threshold into his private world, I spotted something that seemed to greet me. A portrait of a lady wearing a white dress with a flower bouquet for a head. Once in the main area, I was offered a seat and quickly noticed a bottle of tequila in the center of a large, round, wooden table. There were about 5 or 6 other people in the room, but I don't remember any of their names or faces. However, there was a person that would accompany my skinny days throughout. His name was Aníbal, or Hannibal, as I used to call him, and he was also better known as La Vieja. At first, I thought he was the skinny's butler, but then I came to realize that he was his longtime road manager and friend. "You want something to drink?" Jordell asked me. "Yeah, sure," I replied, as he passed me a shot of tequila. "Where are you from?" someone asked. "I'm from Philadelphia," I answered, doing my shot. Jordell then handed me a glass of beer, saying, "I brought a couple beers for you." Jordell always tried to make sure I was my colorful character self, as it helped him serve his purpose. "Philly is a beautiful city. I was there a very long time ago," the skinny stated from across the table. Since he addressed me in English, I replied in English, which was good because I always felt more comfortable speaking my native tongue. The skinny spoke English quite well and had an accent that complemented his exuberant persona. "My English is very bad, but I know I speak like Tarzan, man. But anyway, we speak," he said, getting up and walking through the smoky room to where I sat savoring the moment. "Man, I think your English is beautiful," I replied, as we began to get to know each other a little better. Louis then asked me the question everyone I meet asks me. "Loco, ¿qué haces acá?" Man, what are you doing here? The truth was that I enjoyed living in Buenos Aires, and Louis seemed to appreciate that fact. I left a couple hours later, but not before being invited back whenever I felt like. Jordell walked me home and said, "He really liked you, man." "Yeah, he's pretty cool too," I said. "That's good, because I want you to teach his family English," Jordell said, as we reached my front gate and said goodbye. Well, that was it. That was the first part. That was moment number 1 of my book, My Neighbor the Skinny. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried to read it as best I could in one shot. And if you liked it, hit like. And if you want to hear more, hit subscribe. And I'll be glad to share the rest of the moments with you. Ciao for now.